Hello everyone, welcome back. I've had this bike for 2 weeks now. I'm going to do a more in-depth review and my thoughts on adventure bikes in general in another video, because this is my first time riding a bike like this. But right now I've got to get this bike back and pick up my own before the dealership closes in 30 minutes. I'm at the last service station on the M6 before Preston. Let's get through that traffic and get there on time. Now straight off the motorway there was this big line of traffic, but there's a great big gap there, so there's no stress. The only issue I found was along this centre line there's a big crater running all the way along it. You can see that dark patch. So whenever the tyres hit it, the bike squirmed around. There it goes, you can see it there. So it was just a case of straddling that line on each side depending on what the cars were doing ahead. Now I don't really know these roads, and I don't know how drivers in Preston are going to react to bikers filtering, but there is quite a lot of shops up this way, both dealerships and clothing shops, so you think drivers are more used to bikes and see them all the time. Now I know there's a roundabout up ahead, so I'm just hanging back to see what happens. As I pass this van, I can see the lights already changed to green. I'm never going to filter through this sort of situation, it's too risky. I'm just going to let the traffic flow through and go with it. Now what you're going to see is the light changing to red just as we approach. If I'd filtered I would have got through that light, but it's not worth the risk. I'll just hang back. Okay, so now we're on to a long section of single lane traffic. I am going to filter this, but only when it's safe to do so. I'm going to do my best not to inconvenience any of the oncoming traffic. Just waiting for the gap. There it is. Now look, this red car's sitting on the phone. They should have moved forward there, which meant I had to just nip in there. I would have cut in behind them. And again, what happens here is there's a car wanting to cross the path. Now he wasn't very happy about that. You gotta watch out for these things. I don't know these roads and I don't know the junctions, but you can see all these cars are moved over to the left here. Now there's that pedestrian crossing. I'm not going to filter past while we're here. Moving up to the front of the line, plenty of space and safe to do so. Quick light change and off we go. Now again, I don't know these roads, so I'm keeping my speed a little bit lower than normal. There's junctions there, cars can be changing lanes, pulling out. I don't know what's ahead, so I'm just keeping that speed back just a little bit. Okay, again we're looking to make progress down the middle here. Nice big gap, clear run down the middle, and I decide to move in early here. I'm not too sure why. There's plenty of time and space to make it in front of that white Golf, but I guess it's better safe than sorry. I'll speed this bit up. It took a few minutes for another gap to appear, but once it did, it was a nice easy run down the middle again. Only made a couple of spaces. Dipped back in before this car came, and now I'm looking ahead to this corner. I don't really want to be going down the middle when I don't have line of sight, so I'm just going to hang back and see what happens. And in the end, this whole section was just far too tight and far too busy to be doing any filtering. I just had to keep patient and hope that I got there on time. And with only 2 minutes to spare and the dealership calling me just as I was pulling in, I'm glad to say I made it on time. And to see my own bike there ready waiting for me was a sight for sore eyes. What a beauty. But I'm going to be honest with you, getting back on this thing after 2 weeks of riding an adventure bike was a very strange experience, and it made me question whether I wanted to keep it or change it. So join me on the next one where I'm going to compare the two side by side.